Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. It's your boy Swift back with another episode with Swiftvibez, episode 2. First and foremost, thank y'all for tuning into the first episode of Swiftvibez podcast. And if you haven't listened to that, tune in and like and share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Swift_Ben_King. That is SWIFT_BEEN_KING. And on that YouTube channel, you're going to find a lot of some workout videos geared towards calisthenics. And then again, you get the double whammy with that. And then my Swiftvibez podcast episodes where, we just here to talk. We here to, encourage y'all to find y'all better self, your inner king, your inner queen, and building this kingdom. And just walking through this thing called life. But yeah, welcome to a new episode. And shout out to everyone that showed love, whether you viewed it, whether you commented on it. It's really, y'all don't understand how much I appreciate that. Me being vulnerable is a big deal for me. It always has been, especially as a black man. It's hard expressing my feelings, and to this day it is. And for y'all to show love and appreciate that, I appreciate y'all. And again, this is something that's very new to me. For years, my mom would yell at me, "You need to do a podcast. You need to do a podcast." So annoying. And I finally did it. And to step out on faith to actually do this and to be comfortable and confident in my journey and knowing who fuels me and motivates me to say these things and to be this person. This is very big to me. But again, thank y'all for showing love and listening and tuning in. And we just gonna keep on going. But today's topic, let me give y'all the backstory. I wasn't even going to hit y'all with today's topic and how I am. And I'm going to tell y'all this each episode. I am not perfect. I'm not coming from a perfect place. I'm still learning this thing called life together, like we all are together. And, it's very confusing. And I'm not perfect. I'm flawed. I got problems. I'm trying to figure it all out. And I'm never, ever going to give y'all something that I'm not currently going through or I haven't been through. This is not made up stuff. I don't just write stuff down and think I'm going to tell y'all this. But I thought I had it laid on my heart and my mind to give y'all a certain episode. But as I'm working out this morning, this greater being called God laid something on my heart that I'm kind of currently going through. And he's like, "You need to share this." And I'm just like, dang, he ain't lying. And I do need to share this. So where this direction of this episode is going, I'm just really giving it to God and allowing him to flow through me. And and again, it's not structured, so bear with me. So the main focus on this episode 2, is humility. A word called humility. Yeah, back in the day, your boy didn't even know how to spell humility. Didn't even know what humility was. And I struggled with it because I think I touched on it the last episode, how your boy thought he was bigger or just as big as God. I thought I was that nigga. I'll be honest with you. I thought I didn't have to answer to anyone. I did what I wanted to do. I moved how I wanted to move, and I thought only about myself and how certain things should be geared towards me. I thought a lot about myself. I was selfish and never thought about anyone else's opinions or thoughts, or never really thought about how my actions would affect other people. And that's something that I truly, truly lacked. And I'm man enough to say that. And are you a true king or queen if you can accept and understand your flaws? And that's something that God had to enlighten and show towards me. He had to humble me to experience humility. It's a crazy pattern. I know it doesn't make sense, but if you allow it to make sense, it will. For the past couple of years, I've been, I don't want to say I was going through anything serious. I had everything that I needed to get by the grace of God. I had, I had a home, I had clothes on my back, food on the table, a job, especially coming out of a pandemic, I was really blessed. And that's not no way, shape, or form me trying to brag. I'm just saying that I was blessed. But I had to go through a certain couple situations too, and that brought me down. It had to like really break me to mold me. And God put me through that. And I'm happy to say that your boy is happy. All right? Your boy is at peace. He is the happiest he's ever been. Now, I'm not going to describe the specific areas where I'm happy, but I am happy. Actually, I'll describe some areas. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm currently healing from unhealed trauma. I'm currently healing from childhood trauma, excuse me. And God has gave me a clear vision of who I'm supposed to be and want to be. He's laying out the foundations for me. And, I'm the closest I've ever been to God, my family as well, and healthy. And there's other areas too that I'm very happy in, and I'm not gonna speak about it because we ain't that close yet. But your boy's happy. And I know I've been really, really trying to like stay connected to God, because as believers, y'all can attest to this. But even people that don't believe, I'll just like lay it down for you. But there's times where we go through a situation, going through a rock bottom situation or a problem, and we're like, oh God, please. We pray to God when we need him, But then when everything in life is going the way we want it to, or even better, we put him on a shelf. And then say if something bad happens, we try to dust God off and be like, God, I need you, I need you, I need you, I need you. And we praying to him and seeking him for guidance, seeking him for a changed outcome. And we're humans. We do it. I do it. I still probably do it to this day. I'm not going to act like I don't. But we put him on the shelf when things are going well. Currently, I'm trying my hardest not to put God on the shelf. I'm trying my hardest to give him everything, even when I'm happy. Give him all of me when I am happy. And it's very hard. I'll be honest with you. It's very hard because I'm in a position where I feel like I'm the happiest I've ever been. And that's where the humility has to come into play for me. Knowing that I'm very happy, I have to understand who brought me this happiness and who's always going to bring me this happiness. It's not a person. It's not a thing. It's not a job. It's not the amount of money that's in my bank account. It's not how many women I can grab or get or, numbers I can get. It's God. And that's where I reflect back to that first episode. And if you missed it, check it out, what motivates you and what fuels you. But I have to go to him. Because as I was working out this morning, and again, my mindset is just like, again, I'm happy, and I'm happy to say that. He had to tell me something. He's like, just because you're in a position of happiness, don't forget who got you here. Now, I don't think he was coming from a warning or a scary standpoint. I think he was just, reiterating to me that like, it was me that got you here. It was me that got you out of that wilderness state, out of that rock bottom. Don't forget that. And that's just my thing when it comes to like where I'm at with humility. But as I lacked it back in the day, man, I was just moving how I wanted to move. I didn't care how things affected other people or even how people saw me. It wasn't like I was sloppy and nothing like that, at least what I thought I was. But I just know that I was very cocky. I had ego to me. And like that humility definitely changed me in a sense where I had to see things from a different perspective. I had to go lower than myself. We live in a society, we live in a world where they say that humility is a weakness, and that you got to stunt on people, that you got to come from rock bottom to be at the top and just flex on your haters and all these other things. I don't fully agree with that, because if we're doing that if we're saying we're living our best life and we're living our life for ourselves, then why are we worrying about stunting on people? Are you truly living your life for yourself or even for God? You living for these other people to show people an image. And I'm letting y'all know this now. Again, I'm not perfect, but I'm not living my life for other people. I've done that. I've done that for a lot of years, and it's very, very stressful. Putting on an image, a facade. I can't do it. And me speaking right now is not an image of facade. This is me. I actually scratched that. This ain't me. This is God talking. And I'm not acting like I'm a God. I'm allowing what God has showed me to flow through this mic to y'all. And again, we live in a society that tells you that, like, yo, listen, You gotta flex on these people. You have to have a huge ego where no one else matters. Their opinions doesn't matter. How your actions don't affect other people. Now, granted, I do think ego needs to be in certain things. You got to know something about yourself that, you know what, I'm going to get this job. It doesn't matter if they say I don't have a degree, I'm going to get this job. Or there's certain things you got to like boost yourself up, but your ego got to be in check to the point where your ego can't be too big where no one can tell you certain things, because even the smallest critique, you're going to take it to heart. You're going to allow that ego to take over. But that's another conversation for another time. But when it comes to humility is honestly strength. And God had to show me that. And I think I butchered the saying in the last episode, but humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself less. When I got into arguments with my family, past relationships, I didn't want to hear anyone else's opinion. I would cut them off. I would flip it. And even if they were crying in front of me, I wouldn't care. Yeah, your boy was mean. I'm not proud of that, but that's who I was. I lacked humility and amongst other things. I only thought of myself, what pleased me. And even by myself, I only thought about what pleased me. And there's times where I was like, you know what? I'm going to get them. I'm going to stun on them. Whether that's with success, whether it was the money that I thought I had. Even showing off with my workouts at the time where I thought my body was the best looking body, which it wasn't. And I had to understand that that's not God. That's not a part of my purpose. God had to show me. He wants me to be a river, not a reservoir. He doesn't want me to be something that holds water. He wants me to be something that flows. And what flows out of me is him. Not those material things or on the outside. Even me doing this podcast, even though I truthfully didn't want to do it, I was scared to. I'm trying to flow things into y'all to understand that y'all are kings and y'all queens. That y'all trying to build a kingdom. And humility is a huge thing, because once your kingdom gets huge to the point where, you feel like you got it and everything's set, your finances is set, your health is set, your relationship is set, et cetera, et cetera. You got to make sure you're flowing and pouring into other people, into other things. And it's not just financially. Are you pouring into people with your words, with your actions, with your prayers? Even at your job? Are you thinking of yourself less in situations? Because for me, and not trying to make it about me, even though I just said thinking about less, you think of yourself less, I feel like I could be in a position to stunt, to be like, yo, I'm the happiest I've been. I overcame this and that and the third. I got to remember who brought me out of that. Because if I'm doing that, then I'm acting like it was all me. And ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, it wasn't. I wouldn't be able to be this man talking to y'all right now if it wasn't for God. And again, that's just Josh. That's just Swift. That's what grounds me and motivates me and continues to ground me and motivate me and fuel me. That is my humility. That's why I remain humble. Because there's times where, best believe there's times I want to stun on people. There's times where I just want to be like, bruh, like, you're not on my level. But I gotta realign, retract, bring it back. That's not a part of my purpose. My purpose isn't to do things for the accolades, for the validation of people. Because I'm not living my life for God. I'm living it for people. I'm not being a light. And that's going to take me away from my purpose. Humility is definitely a strength. And again, don't allow this world to say those things. There's times where you can flex. There's times you're better than I don't want to say better than someone in the sense of like as a whole person, but you're more experienced in an area. You know, whether that's financially, whether that's at a sport. And I'm never ever going to tell you to not to forget who you are. Know your strength. Know your worth. Know all that. Even know your flaws. That's what makes you a king and a queen. You re-examine your kingdom. Re-examine your temple, where in certain places needs an upgrade, needs fixing. That's humility within itself. That's knowing that, listen, I got to fix these things. I'm not the best in these things. But also, too, the things that you are rebuilding in your kingdom, the things that you are upgrading, show someone how you did it. Don't hold that in. When you get blessed, also be a blessing to someone else. And again, we live in this world where it's gimme, 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 gimme. And if you don't get it, then you out. And it sucks. You know? If you don't have the most likes, you're not worth it. The most views. You know, like if you don't have the most money, like, and that's why everyone wants to live up to the standard that they can't even get to, or they kill themselves, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and financially, and spiritually to get there, and they're not happy. I know I'm getting a little bit off topic, but do you see these superstars? A lot of them, you think they should be happy, but they are depressed. Some are even taking themselves out. That stuff is not worth it. Build your kingdom to the best ability, but also too, again, I'm always going to go back to the first episode. Find what grounds you and motivates you. But as well, remain humble in the process, yo. Because God will get you out of those situations. He's going to get you out of a situation that you are struggling with. But don't ever, ever forget who got you out of that. That's where you got to remain humble. Because there's a saying too, as fast as God can give it to you, it's as fast he can take it away. And that is true. You know how many blessings that slipped through my hands because of my lack of humility? Straight up, for real. And again, I don't want to say I'm currently struggling with it. I'll be honest with you, I am currently struggling with it because there's times where I want to flex on people. There's times I want to stun on people. Or not even just people, just in general, to show off. And that can't be me. And I think, again, let me just retract that again. I don't think I'm struggling with it. I think God is just giving me a reminder of, like, don't forget who got you out of that wilderness, who got you out of that confused state of mind. It was me. And when I say me, God, not me. And I think this world needs a lot of things, but a little humbleness wouldn't hurt. You know? And it just sucks to see, looking back at my journey, how the lack of humility that I had. I always thought of myself. And I'm pleased with the situation that God put me in to build that humility. Even at work, there's times where people get on my nerves. I'll be honest with you, and I want to respond in a certain way that I know I can respond per my last email type stuff. But I don't have to do that, and I don't want to do that. Now, disclaimer, I'm not telling y'all to let people run over y'all. I'm not going to say that. If you are disrespected, you handle it accordingly, how you see fit. But don't walk around here and get disrespected. I'll tell you that straight up. Don't allow no one to disrespect you. But also, as a king and as a queen, you got to have humility, because ego has killed kingdoms. We've seen in history books kingdoms fall because of the ego, because people didn't want to listen to other people or other things. Like, humility is not an easy task, and I'm not ever going to tell y'all. I'm not going to come up here and act like the things I say is very easy to either grasp or obtain. But I truly believe if you find what grounds you, what motivates you, and what fuels you, what's your purpose, it makes it very clear. And I know for me, that's God. God has shown me like, yo, you lack here. You need to fix that. And like I told you, I try to fill those pockets, fill those voids where, I felt like, made me into that nigga. I'll be honest with you. It was women, sex, the most lit spots. I post the most lit spots, or me getting it popping, you know what I'm saying? Like, amongst the other things. But where's that stuff at now? Your boy ain't making no millions off of it. It's temporary. But if you remain humble, listen, I'm telling you, the blessings that come with you just being humble, walking into that meeting just with your humble presence, your humble responses, it can get you far, man. It can. And we trying to build kingdoms around here. I ain't trying to just tell y'all kings and queens. I'm trying to motivate y'all to build y'all kingdoms. But I don't want to see y'all kingdoms fall. I want y'all to have that foundation. I want y'all to have, and knowing what grounds you in your purpose. That's the foundation right there. Now we got to keep building the walls and everything. And your kingdom doesn't ever stop building. You can add on to it. But humility is going to be one thing. But this is not going to be a prolonged episode. I'm not going to try to beat stuff into your brain. Hopefully y'all know where I'm coming from, and hopefully this can help y'all to seek those areas or those places where you lack humility and can work on it. And that's a homework assignment that y'all can work on for until the next episode. But that's something that I'm currently working on, and remaining humble, remaining focused on God. I'll give y'all this example before I sign off. But like, there's people that now are trying to work out with me, and I'm pleased with that. I'm happy that I love to work out. I love working out. That is I'm in one of my elements right then and there is working out. And when people want to work out with me, and again, this is no dig at other people saying that they're weak. I know that I'm at a certain spot with my workouts than they are. But I have to humble myself. And I don't want to say get lower, just as low as them, because they're not at a low spot. They're just starting. But I know that if they want to work out with me, I had to modify my workouts to their level so they can build up to my level. My main thing is I want y'all to be greater than me. I want y'all to be better than me, especially when it comes to working out. And I want y'all to get something out of it. But if I come into that workout saying like, oh, you got to do this and this, that, and the third, I'm acting like I'm the Rock. And am I truly humbling myself? I got to think of myself less and understand that I got to go lower than me. There's going to be people that's going to lack certain things that you have, or they're trying to obtain. And again, I'm not saying that you got to hold on to it. You want to be a river. You want to let things flow. Important to other people. And we live in a society that even pouring into other people, there's a cost at that. And that's for a different episode as well, too. But there's a cost to that. And it's the gimme, like the survival mode type stuff. And I've lived in that, too. And there's times where I still do live in that. I have trust issues. I don't trust people, But we talking about humility right now. Gotta remain humble, yo. Because that position that you were in a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, a day ago, you could be back there in an instant. But you gotta understand and know who grounds you. I'll repeat that quote one more time, and then we're gonna sign off because it's getting too hot in my crib. But humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself less. I want y'all to dig deep. Think about the areas where you can think of yourself less. And honestly, seek God. I'm never ever going to tell you not to seek God. But seek what also grounds you too. Y'all are kings and queens. We trying to build kingdoms around here. Let's build them. But you also got to inspect what's wrong with the kingdom? What needs fixing? What needs to be taken away? What needs to be added? All right. I'm out. Swift loves y'all. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Y'all kings and queens, stay blessed, and stay safe, and stay cool. It is hot. All right, love y'all.